Welcome to the Published and Paid podcast, where we share book, business, leadership, and life lessons in 20 minutes or less to help you build a thought leadership brand and business. My name is Jasmine Womack. I'm a former middle school language arts teacher turned seven-figure entrepreneur, and I am glad that you are here. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Published and Paid podcast. My name is Jasmine Womack, and in this podcast, I'm going to teach you how to turn your intellectual property and ideas into a published ecosystem of profitable offers, services, and products that you can sell, get published, and get paid. In this episode, I'm going to share 3 limiting beliefs keeping you from 10xing your business and how to overcome them. So listen, if you find that your thoughts are sabotaging your success, we're going to talk about 3 limiting beliefs that you might be facing and how these hidden mental blocks are keeping you stuck at your current level. So whether you are aiming to finish your book or grow your coaching business or turn your book into a premium price offer, you got to understand that mindset is everything. Like, you can have the strategies right there in front of you, but if you don't have the belief behind it that it will work, you're not going to implement and execute the strategies. And so in this episode, my goal is to help you to really challenge your thinking and elevate your belief so that you can step into your next level of growth with confidence. And so I'm super excited about today. Like, I encounter a lot of very successful women that are successful in their careers, women that have built successful businesses. But then when it comes to your IP, something that is based on your knowledge and your intellect, either there's a disconnect between what you're writing and creating and what your actual skill set is, or there's a disconnect in your belief that you can actually turn it into more. And so this is what we're going to talk about today. So I'm just going to hop right into it. Okay. Belief number 1 is that you have to be perfect. You have to have the perfect content. The course has to already be perfectly created and curated before you can launch, before you can sell it, before you can charge more or whatnot. And so here's the thing. One of the things that's going to hold you back is consistent changes, consistent tweaking, consistent modification, consistent alteration of the work that you're doing, right? Like, and I especially find this happening with books, right? Like, you've written your book. It's been edited, but now you're constantly going back to change things and to edit it again and to edit it again and to add more content. And now you're literally on this roller coaster of never ending because you won't put a stop to it and say, hey, this is it. Like, you can't be constantly endlessly changing things. At some point, you've got to say, hey, I am good with this. I'm going to move this forward. I'm going to move forward with this. I'm going to get results with what I have now. All right. And so one of the shifts that you can actually have when it comes to this is that progress over perfection creates profit. So anything with business is not about being perfect. It's about getting it done. It's about being better than you were the day before. Progress over perfection. This is about getting it done. You can make it better over time. You can perfect it over time. But what's not going to happen, you're not going to make profit. You're not going to become paid. You're not going to make impact and create and help others change their lives. As long as it's in your head and as long as, you're constantly changing things, you've got to publish it. You've got to put it out there. That's the only way that you make progress. You make progress over time. You make progress with feedback. You make progress with your own analysis, with your own observations as you're seeing what's working and what's not working. So this is where you really have to give yourself permission to grow publicly. This is where you have to give yourself permission to make mistakes. This is where you have to give yourself permission to do things messy. This is where you got to give yourself permission to use feedback as data and not as identity. Like, literally, I made my first 5 figures from Zoom, some Google Slides, and a PayPal link. Like, literally. Like, your clarity, the conciseness, the perfection is going to come through the movement. It's going to come through the progress. Belief number 2 is that I have to start out charging low I'm not hating on low ticket. I have some low ticket items typically that are digital product, my book and digital products. But there are those of you all, you have every credential under the sun. You got every degree under the sun, and you are charging pennies for the same expertise that you are helping companies and organizations and other people use to really achieve and accomplish big goals. So even if you are new in the online coaching and consulting space, you got to understand that you're not new to doing the work that you've been doing for a very long time. Even though you might be new in the online coaching and consulting space, you're not new to helping people get results. This is why you don't need to start off underpricing. You don't need to start off underpricing your offers or your services. And you don't need to start off with giving everything away for free. You've already been investing. You've been investing in your master's degree, your specialist degree, for those of you all that have that, your doctoral degree, all kinds of certification. You put in money, you put in time. You have weathered storms professionally where you have, encountered challenges and grown through those challenges. That's wisdom. Nobody should just be able to come and glean off of that for pennies, for what you've already put in blood, sweat, and tears for. You've got to believe that when you stand in your authority, when you embrace your authority, and when you stand in your authority, you will attract clients who will value your expertise and who will be happy to compensate you financially for it. So here's where we have to really price for results and stop pricing based on what you think people would pay, and invest in the level in which you want to charge. And when you're talking to people, show the value and then state the investment with confidence and without trying to over-explain or justify the price. And I'll be honest with you, when I raised my prices, I started attracting the right people. And I started attracting the people that were ready to do the work and get results. Limiting belief number 3 is I'm afraid to be seen. I don't want to create content and our people are going to judge me. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to build a brand in the online education business space, you're going to have to adapt an identity of a content creator. That means that you're going to have to be willing to be seen. You're going to have to be used to being seen. You're going to have to learn how to create content. You're going to have fun with it, but you got to be willing to have some level of credibility. Does that mean that you need to be everywhere all the time? No. But you can create a podcast like I'm creating a podcast now. Use an AI tool to create shorts and put it on different platforms, and that's being visible. You've got to be willing to do something. Your voice, like there is power in your voice. Like your voice is your stage. And I talked about this at Create Your Own Stage Live. Your voice is your stage and your voice is the vehicle for your assignment. People deserve to hear what you have to say. People deserve to hear your strategies. They deserve to be able to read your books. Like, you've done the work. So I want you to really be confident with putting it out there. Your visibility is all about value. It's about showing up to serve, not to prove anything to anybody. And it's about reminding yourself every single day that you decide to show up, that there's somebody out there that is praying for the answer that you came to give. You and the information that you have, you are literally the answer to somebody's prayer. And you've got to show up because they're dependent on you. Like, I remember when I first started going live, every time I was going live, I had to remind myself, like, this was not, even now, like, I'm going to be honest with y'all, creating content is not my favorite thing. It's not my favorite thing to do. I really wish that I could have somebody do it for me, but I have too much integrity. I don't want to create an AI bot and have this robotic image of me out there. I'm embracing AI and I'm using it in many areas of my business, but I am not ready to create a robotic image of myself just yet. So anytime, like even now, I had to invest in getting my makeup done this morning. I had to invest in my makeup artist coming to my house at early in the morning to do it. I had to invest in this space that I'm in because I wanted to provide like create a better quality podcast and get out of my office. So I had to invest in the room. I had to invest in the cameras. Either I'm going to buy a camera. I bought this camera that I'm filming on years ago, or I'm going to invest thousands of dollars in a videographer, right? Like all these things, the time I'm taking to film the podcast and outline the podcast and get my makeup done and get wardrobes and get materials like bikes and cameras and spaces. But I got to remind myself that this isn't about me. This isn't about me. This is about the work that God has placed me here to do. These are the mediums that I choose to get it done. And this is about the person that needs the information that I've been graced to develop in skill set and in wisdom, and that I am not holding back. And I realize that anytime I hold information back, that's me not walking in my purpose. And that's me not moving forward and doing the thing that God has called me to do. Is it uncomfortable sometimes? Yes. Is it what I want to do all the time? No. But I know that I can go to sleep at night knowing that I'm moving forward in my purpose and knowing that I am doing the thing that God has called me to do. And that every time I open my mouth to speak, every time I release a piece of content or I put out a podcast, that is somebody's mental chains that are breaking. That is somebody's life that is shifting. That is someone that sees opportunities where they previously saw obstacles. This is someone that is coming a step closer to giving their life to Christ through the work that I'm doing. That's more important than me and my fears or me and my feelings about not feeling like doing something. And I want you to remember that too. Like there's somebody out there whose next level depends on you. There's somebody out there who needs what you have. And you got to focus on the promise, and you've got to focus on the future, and you've got to focus on the purpose more than you focus on your own selfish desires and fears. Okay? Listen, you were created for such a moment as this, and you've got to lean in on your why and remember why you're doing the things that you're doing. And remember that you are graced and purposed to do the work that you're doing, more so than you put the focus on what you do feel like and what you don't feel like. Okay. So I appreciate you guys for joining me here today. If you know somebody who needs this episode, send this or share this with them. And remember, release your expertise, take the stage, get published, and get paid. I'll see you on the next episode. Welcome to the Published and Paid podcast, where we share book, business, leadership, and life lessons in 20 minutes or less to help you build a thought leadership brand and business. My name is Jasmine Womack. I'm a former middle school language arts teacher turned seven-figure entrepreneur, and I am glad that you are here. Let's get started.